Hey Toy fans, D21 Beast here, back with another Masher review for you guys here today. And today we're looking at the Stormtrooper from the Star Wars film franchise, and this Masher was released by Hasbro in 2015, on Force Friday more specifically. Now, if there's some way you've managed to miss Star Wars Episodes 4, 5, and 6, Stormtroopers are those lovable soldiers who can't hit the broadside of a barn and spend their days dying for the Empire at the hands of even the most inexperienced Rebels' blaster fire because their armor is seemingly useless. And you think Star Trek's red shirts have got a problem. Anyway, this is a pretty cool Masher figure and probably the first one you might actually want to army build with. I'm pretty curious to check this guy out, so let's get things started by taking a look at the packaging for this figure. As you come down the front of this box, you do have the Star Wars logo in the upper right and the figure's name off to the side. You've got a window box packaging that does house this Stormtrooper figure inside as well as his accessory. On the lower left, we've got an image of a mashed up Star Wars character, and below that we have the toy line, Hero Mashers. And as we flip this package around, we once again have that Hero Mashers logo there at the top. We then have a mashed up Stormtrooper there towards the center. And on the right hand side, we have a lineup of some other figures currently available from this toy line. Alright guys, well that's the packaging. Let's say we get this doomed foot soldier out of the box and see what he's all about. Alright Toy fans, so here we have the Stormtrooper out of the packaging, and the first thing I want to mention to you guys is when you're looking for this figure at retail, pay attention to the paint applications on the face. I saw 3 different Stormtroopers at different retailers. They're actually kind of hard to come by, but I did notice that this was the best paint applications of any of them that I saw. The other 2 Stormtroopers I looked at, the mouth wasn't lined up properly and the eyes were definitely offset, so be mindful of that, I guess. There's not a lot of paint applications on this figure, but I guess it's too hard to get it right, even for the little amount of paint that he does have. So let's go ahead and start by taking a look at the paintwork on this figure. I like how clean the paint is on this particular figure's head sculpt. We have the nice blue paint here on the side, and then the gray and the blacks. Looks just like the Stormtrooper helmet should look. There's actually black paint here around the neck, just like there should be on the costume, and on the inside of the armor pieces moving throughout the figure. Otherwise, he's just a largely black figure, which again, is exactly what he should be, because that's what Stormtroopers are. And I do like the attention to detail here on the back. Looks just like it did in Star Wars 4, 5, and 6. So really, sculpt-wise, I have no complaints about this figure. I think it's a great transition from the movie look of the figure into the Masher style. Now the Stormtrooper only comes with one single accessory. He does have this blaster accessory that you see here. And it looks close enough, I guess, to the guns that the Stormtroopers were using in the movies. I do think it's not really entirely screen accurate. And then it has this blaster effect coming off the end. Now, being that this is a Masher toy, I wish that this blaster effect would actually pull off and have a peg that you could then stick anywhere on the figure, so you could have the gun in a dormant position even. I'm kind of disappointed they didn't do that. Hopefully if there's other characters in the Mashers line that have blasters, that they've gone ahead and removed the blaster end. And this thing is not glued in very tightly. I do feel like I might be able to pull it off, but I don't want to do it and end up breaking the toy. So really though, it's nice to have the accessory at all, I suppose. It does fit nicely into his right hand, and you can see he can just kind of point it here. You're not going to get a lot of dynamic range out of this because of the Masher's limited articulation, but I think it looks fine just being held in his hand, but it does seem a little bit too big for the figure. Now with the other hand, you could try to put the blaster in that hand, but with the way that the hand is designed, it's really only meant to hold a peg, and not the actual handle of the gun, so it does kind of stick out a little weird. And since that's it for accessories, guys, let's go ahead and look at that articulation. Like the other Masters we've seen from the Star Wars line so far, this Stormtrooper can look, well, actually he doesn't look down at all. He does look up, okay. His head can rotate left and right. He's got a full rotation here at the shoulder. It does not bend out from the body. Again, no hinge joint on these Star Wars figures. He's got a full rotation here on the arm. He's got an elbow that have been forward that far and been back that far. There is no finger or wrist articulation. No waist articulation, but he does have a ball jointed hip that'll bend forward that far, bend back very far. It bends out from the body pretty nicely. He's got a single joint here at the knee that bends down that far, up that far, and rotates all the way around. And like we've seen with Mashers throughout all of 2015, no ankle articulation on this figure as well. So a bit disappointing in that respect, but with the Stormtroopers, you're not really going to have them, striking a pose with a lightsaber or anything. You're probably going to spend most of your time just posing them behind your Darth Vader or Darth Sidious figures, and for the use of a sort of general infantry or background character, I think that works fine. Alright Toy fans, so if you're new to Masher figures and what they're all about, they are a toy line that's designed to remove your figure at the head joint, the elbow joint, the hip joint, and the knee joint, and mix them with other figures in the line. So let's go ahead and bring in the Darth Vader and the Boba Fett that I've already reviewed from this toy line, and you can see after a quick edit here, all the different combinations you can come up with by mixing these figures together. And of course, the more figures you have from this toy line, the more options you're going to have to mix and match and create your own custom Stormtrooper, Sith, or even Bounty Hunter. Height-wise, we can see that this Masher figure does stand right about 5.5 inches tall. For some size comparison, here we've got the Masher's Stormtrooper compared to the Masher's Starscream figure and the Masher's Wolverine figure, and like we've noticed with previous Star Wars Masher figures, this line of figures does seem to be shorter than the Transformers and the Superhero Masher toy lines. Here he is one more time compared to the Boba Fett and Darth Vader Mashers I've already reviewed. And finally, here he is compared to the 6-inch scale Marvel Legends Infinite Series Wolverine. Hey Bob, they say you're such a bad shot, you can't even hit a target if it's standing right in front of you. Is that what they say? Oh, dang, I missed. Ha ha! You're so pathetic I can't even stay mad at you! Oh, I think I'd like to go home now. Alright, toy fans, well that's my review of the Star Wars Hero Masher Stormtrooper figure released by Hasbro in 2015. Overall, this Masher figure is pretty decent. He's got great sculpting and great paint applications, at least the one that I've got, so definitely check him in store before you buy him. He's honestly everything I expected out of a Stormtrooper Masher figure, and keeping in mind that we all know Hasbro is penny pinching these days when it comes to articulation, the only new complaint I can really bring to this review is that I wish the gun was handled a little bit differently. I do wish that blaster effect was removable. Other than that, I can't say that this is a necessary purchase for your Mashers collection, but he is a fun one. Well, thanks for watching this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what you saw here, please feel free to rate, share, and subscribe. It really helps me out. Also, be sure to connect with me on Twitter and Instagram at D21Beast. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.